Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a story time on when my dad kicked me out the house on my 21st birthday. So, on my 21st birthday, hold on, let me check me out real quick. I washed my hair yesterday and cut my ends, and now I feel like I'm bald headed because I had to cut so much off. I don't know where that came from. I had to cut so much off. But before we get into this story time, make sure you thumbs this video up if you want to see more story times. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Welcome all new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Now, without further ado, let's get into this story. Okay. So, it was my 21st birthday. And, some teens or whatever, they already be drinking and all of that before the age of 21 and stuff like that. I was already doing that because I hung around an older crowd of, people. I would hang out with people who were 21 and up when I was about 16 all the way till I was 21. So, it was easy for me to get alcohol. So, I was already in the game, you feel me? It was just my turn to be able to celebrate that I'm finally legal. And I don't have to give nobody else the money to go get it for me. But anyway, I remember like yesterday. So, this was like a year after my dad bought me my Buick. So, my best friend, she took me out to this little club. It was like an old folks club, but it was lit. So, we went down there, having a good time, drinking, turning up, chilling. And they had like this little stripper pole up in there. It really wasn't a stripper pole. I think it was just a pole, and my ass just got. I tell my best friend, I'm like, hey, take me to my house so I can get my car. So that way, when we go to the next spot, if I'm ready to go, I can just, hop in my whip and I can go. She was like, alright, cool. So, she take me back to my house. Why my drunk ass wanted to go back and get my loud ass car, I don't know. But, I went in the backyard. Now, where my car was, that's where my daddy's room was. You feel me? And my car was already loud. So, when you crank it up, it sounded like a freaking motorcycle. So, my drunk ass tiptoeing back there to my car. Get in there, slam the door. And I'm like, oh shit, I hope he didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm trying to crank it up all quietly. Like, bitch, you know damn well this car is not going to crank up quietly. So, I crank the car up. As soon as I crank it up, I don't give it time to warm up, do nothing. I just, you feel me, on out the driveway. So, mind you, my daddy's room was right there where my car was. So, he heard it. But I didn't know that until I came home at like 2-something in the morning. So, I'm pulling back in through the neighborhood, pull up in front, I see all the lights on in the house. A bitch was shook. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, he up. I ain't finna pull in the driveway. So let me just park right here on the side of the road. So my ass park on the side of the road, tiptoe up the little hill to my window because I leave my window unlocked when I be sneaking out, when I was sneaking out and shit. So I can get back in. So I'm climbing through my window and shit. Next thing I know, I hear the front door open. My room was facing the front of the house where the front door was. So, here come my daddy. Out the door, coming through the window with me, honey. I'm trying to dive into bed and pull the covers over me like I've been in bed the whole time. I'm like, what? What? He talking, where the hell you been? Where you been? I'm like, oh my God, what you talking about? Just shook. I'm scared, honey. So he crawled back out the window, come back through the front door, yelling for me to come up in the front living room. So, baby, my heart racing. I'm already drunk and shit. And I'm like, okay. So I go up there where he is. He's like, where the hell you been? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I said, where the hell you been? And I'm like, trying to think of a line with my drunk ass. I'm sitting there like, think of something. So the only thing that come to my mind was say, oh, I was with my cousin. I was with, my cousin. He was like, you a damn lie. She ain't in town. Just lying on my cousin and shit. Because I couldn't think of shit else to say. Because it's the first time I ever got caught within that whole time frame with me sneaking out the window, going out partying and clubbing and shit. So anyway, he was like, you a motherfucking lie. Well, he said something, and baby, all I know is my drunk ass was just sitting there looking him in the face, and I was like, something, 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 and he just slapped the shit out of me, and my face went, but Dad! And I was like, I didn't even feel it, but he slapped me dead ass hard. He was like, you go back to where the fuck you came from. You get out. I'm sitting there like, why? What did I do? He was like, you go back wherever you came from. And I'm like, okay. So I called my best friend that I was hanging out with that night, and I was like, yo, can I stay with you for the night? Because my dad done put me out. So she was like, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I went over there with her, spent the night with her. And then my daddy, he left me a message saying, since you want to stay out late or whatever, you can pack your bags and leave. Or something like that. So I did what he told me to do. You know what I'm saying? The next day I came over there, I packed my little bags, whoop de whoop, got what I was going to, get, and I left. You know what I'm saying? So I was gone for about maybe a day or so. Then he called me, telling me to come back to the house. But at the end of the day, that was tough love. He was basically trying to show me, like, hey, you gonna respect me, you living under my roof. So if you feel like you can't respect me and be in this house at a decent time and not sneak out, you can get out. Pretty much. But if y'all want to hear the story time about my first time being high, or my first time being sloppy drunk and fighting the ambulance people, like this video. Comment yes in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching.